I think with live music coming back, we have a few shows coming up. I think we're most excited to really get out there and play now that we're a full band.
When we make music, we're just having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be so fun to see if people can connect with it.
It's the ins and outs with Mackie.
Hi, I'm Jamie Hernandez, and this is the Ins and Outs with Mackie, a show about awesome gear and awesome people. We'll be bringing musicians, engineers, podcasters, streamers, and sometimes the occasional Mackoid. If you're new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform to get all the latest Mackie updates as soon as they're out. So our guests today are powerhouse performers. What first surfaced as a solo project with a pair of singles in the early 2020s has now evolved to a full collaboration of musicians mixing high-energy guitar riffs with sparkly synths and vocal melodies. Their music transcends the pop genre by creating something organic with a unique blend of sparkle and the sound of the late thousands pop. Here to talk about their journey as up-and-coming artists and their glitter grunge band is Cannxn and Paul Sawicki from the band Cannxn. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Thank you. Hi.
Nice to...
How y'all doing? What's up? Where are we at? Where are we calling from?
We are from Paul's parents' house currently.
Yeah, they're out for a little, so I decided to sneak in a little
Yeah.
bit, set up a little temporary studio in here.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, thank you for joining us. Let's start at the beginning. You are based out of Mackie's hometown, Seattle.
Yes.
Tell us how you got into music and a little bit about how the band got together.
Yeah, so I think for me personally, I was really into like acoustic guitar and songwriting ever since I was like 13, 14, and I did a lot of that. But I was also very involved with like the pop punk scene, really loved going to Warped Tour, and I always wanted to start a band. So I like continued like writing and recording songs all this time. And then I was like, why not just pretend to be a band? So I did that for a long time. And then with Sound Off, I realized if I wanted to play that, I needed to have real folks play with the band. And then that's how Paul and I got started together. And we had another member at the time, Clay. So we've ever since then become like a very collaborative effort because it's so much more fun making music with other people.
Totally. So you describe your sound as glitter grunge. I love that. How would you explain what that sounds like to someone who's never heard that word?
I can try my hand at describing it. So we have a lot of musical inspirations, especially now with more people coming into the band. My musical journey was kind of weird. I've like bounced from genres, like experimental stuff like that. She's been pretty rooted in kind of more like poppy guitar kind of stuff. And so, especially going forward, bringing that together there's a lot of high energy guitar riffs, like sparkly guitar riffs, distortion, we take a lot of influence from things like, I'd say Paramore, say Two Door Cinema Club, a lot of their really reverby guitars. I think we're going to try to take a lot of that. And then a lot of like 80s synths sounds. There was a big, 80s resurgence in like the early 2010s with Taylor Swift, Carly Rae Jepsen, that kind of stuff. So I feel like we take a lot of our synth sounds from there. A lot of big sounding synths, a lot of, grand things. All the choruses that we write, we like to have grand crashes, stuff like that. So there's a lot of sparkle. There's a lot of like flair added in. We try to have really layered production, really layered synths, and just like huge guitars. We just want it to be big,
Yeah.
We want the chorus to come in, and we want everyone to sing along. We want the energy to be there. And a lot of that takes a real nice balance of guitar and synth to make sure nothing's overpowering anything, nothing's going over Megan. The guitars are still available, and we owe a lot of it to our I guess mixer, Tyler Mays. We really like working with him a lot, and he really brings out what we want from our music when we take it to him. And
Nice.
So he's a really big part of that kind of like glitter and grunge sound. He knows.
Yeah.
Well, nice. Very nice. Megan, you've been pretty active in the Pacific Northwest over the past 5 years. You released You released your first single in 2020, and now you have this awesome group of musicians, and the songs keep on coming. What are you all most excited about with these recent releases?
I think we're most excited to start playing them live. I think with live music coming back, we have a few shows coming up. I think we're most excited to really get out there and play now that we're a full band. We've been coming out with music pretty regularly. I just think it's going to be so fun to see how the energy translates and see if people can connect with it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do anything different on these new releases?
I think it's more different in the fact that it was a collaborative effort in comparison. I think for Will I Always Feel This Way and like for that EP, that was very much just me and Tyler in the studio. That was still solo Megan. And I think for these ones, it was a lot more friends in the studio, had a better energy around it because we were all working together when it came to crafting the sound design.
Yeah, really, when we make music, we're just having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like when we're practicing, when we're making stuff, you know, the main thing we're doing it like it's a group of like 5 really great friends at this point. You know, we have, there's a lot of chemistry. Me and Megan are really great friends at this point. And then our guitarists, I've known Keegan since like 6th grade, and I live with him, you know, and then he has his sister being his rhythm guitarist. So there's a lot of chemistry between them. And then we have Matthew on the drums, and he's just a really great guy. We've been, you know, just playing and like getting our energy right. And we put a lot of effort into just making sure we sound great live and having fun.
Well, it definitely shows. Your music is written, you mentioned Tyler, but your music is written, produced, and it's mixed and mastered by you all. Can you tell us a little bit about that process?
Yeah, so for the stuff that's out now, it's basically been just produced by me. I start a lot of demos at home on my computer on just Logic Pro, and I've just been building around it and trying to learn as much as I can about production because I feel like that's the best way for me to get ideas out personally. And then from that point on, I'll have like a pretty solid demo as far as like synth production goes, all the guitar parts and everything that I want to be in there. And then we will bring it to Tyler. We re-record all the guitars and vocals in the studio, and then he mixes and masters it.
Nice. So you've been a one-woman band, and you've been creating with the full band. Is there a difference with that? What do you like most about each scenario?
I think the main difference here is like when you're making things by yourself, you don't really have to consult other people and see what they think of the song and like how they connect with it. And I think even looking at things from a live setting now, I look more like, oh, is there a part for everyone to play? And it's not as synth driven, which is kind of the main thing I've noticed. And when creating with more people too, it's easier to take more influences because a lot of the members of the band listen to things that I don't. Like Paul listens to a lot of electronic music and can come up with a lot more interesting production elements and ideas. So it makes for a really interesting blend, I think, in comparison to me doing it on my own, because I just have listened to like a lot of alternative music for so long, and that's all I know. So taking more genre influences, I think has been really useful.
Yeah, I'd say we're almost in a transition period right now where we're really settling down and understanding how we write best. We have a lot of demos that are where we've been working out that we're really like excited to start like really producing and come out with things. I personally think they sound really great, and like you can tell, you can hear the influence. It's still Megan Cannon, but there's more, you know. There's just more. There's more influence. It's I wouldn't say more interesting, because Will I Always Feel This Way had really interesting production, but it's more, I guess, nuanced. There's more like nuance into it, and it's less in your face than Will I Always Feel This Way. And it's just really hard to, we've been transitioning, and like the main problem we've had, and not even problem, is trying to get away where we can add our influences in, everybody from the band, without disrupting her vision, because it is, you know, Cannxn is Megan Cannon. And especially in these past couple of weeks and past month, we've really, I think, settled and found a process that works for us, where you know, I'm kind of at the computer. She's telling me what she wants in it. And it's getting translated with a little bit of flair from other people.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So lots of collaboration. You guys are having fun, because if you're not, I mean, why are you even doing this, right?
Yeah.
So I love that, and I love that there's so many different influences, and with so many members of a band. I mean, who could even know everything they've listened to? So that's exciting, and it helps your songwriting grow too. So that's awesome. You performed for the Museum of Pop Culture's Sound Off event. You mentioned it a little bit earlier, which we will be sharing a performance from. For our listeners, this was a 21 and under music showcase featuring artists from across the Pacific Northwest. What did you both enjoy most about that experience?
I think what I enjoyed most personally was being able to see my vision come to life. I think there was a lot of fun, like lighting and elements, and I think hearing everything loud and a big crew behind it really allows a new energy to be birthed, like for the live music. And just to kind of see how it would translate live. Because I think I personally had never played these songs before. And I think seeing it with the full band, full production in such a beautiful venue, I think was really fun for me.
Yeah. MoPop is really when it like hit me like, this is a project that I can believe in and really like put my soul into, because I saw it come to life. And, you know, I haven't been doing music for that long. I'm kind of like recent to the whole being a musician. I've always really liked music and everything, but I really only started this year when it comes to performing with a band and actively trying to write music. And so it really was almost like an awakening, like, this is what I want to do. This is where I want my energy to go in this part of my life. Because, you know, this age, you know, this early 20s, this is when you have the most energy, you have the most time. You can really devote yourself to something without it having like lasting impacts, or, you know, I don't have a job, I'm not like tied down anywhere. I really want all of my energy into this, and Sound Off showed me that it's going to be worth it. And I really believe in this project a lot.
High in my car for the fourth time today. Told my friends things were better, but now it was yesterday. 'Cause now the weather's coming down. I'm trying to think of a way to explain where I've been and why my life doesn't sound the same. Will I always feel this way?
sometimes you need an event or like a goal to go towards or like a date, to kind of just prepare you. Paul, that must have been really exciting. You're performing for your first time, and you mentioned it was like you barely starting. But I think for a lot of musicians, you're not barely starting, because I know you've probably sat in that room tinkering with all your tools and your instruments and your bass and all your DAWs that you work on. And, for a lot of musicians, there's so much intimidation to go out and perform and to have an event like Sound Off, to be like, this is a huge event. I got to prepare and I got to get in it. And then you do it and they freaking love you and you get gear out of it and you get an interview out of it. Now you're like, okay, I'm having fun. I'm in the right direction. So congratulations for recognizing that, and Paul, for continuing to do the Cannxn thing, because this isn't just, like you said, it's not just making Cannxn. It's a group, and you can see that collaboration works really well. So are there any live shows we can look forward to in the near future?
September 11th, we have a show coming up in Tacoma as well.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
So you got to do a photo shoot with Mackie.
Yeah.
That I learned about this right before this interview. How did that go? Was it fun? What did our team?
It was really fun.
It was just a day we went to some like Seattle studio and we just we had fun. We shot some cool photos, did some promotional stuff. It was another day of just hanging out. And that was again, like I said, we went through a transition period. We've not been cycling members, but we've been adding and stuff like that. And so it was a really fond memory to look back on in that kind of like phase of the 3-man group at that point.
Yeah, it was my birthday that day too, and that was
happy belated
birthday day. Like we would take some photos, get some beer. It was fun.
It was also kind of like, dang, we're doing stuff for like a company.
Yeah.
we're not just, it's not just us. There's other people involved now too.
Yeah.
It's kind of intimidating.
Don't be intimidated. Just go out there and just keep doing it. When you're
it's a ton of fun.
Even though you evolve, you lose members, they come back, they go, just keep doing it, right? And like you said, it gets stamped in your history timeline, and you just keep looking back and going, wow, look at us now.
Yeah.
Cannxn is already starting to have a pretty. We've done a lot. We have a history already. We've definitely had like phases where it was mostly around the drummers.
Yeah.
we've
drummers.
had phases that we've been doing.
It's always the drummers. We love you, drummers. We need you, but we need you to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And it's just been really fun because there hasn't been any animosity between any leaving members or anything. It's just been a great time the whole time. Like people are like, oh, sorry, I have some other obligation. We can't do it. I'm like, that's cool. We're really just trying to have fun here.
Yeah,
definitely. And you seem to be the heartbeat of the band. So as long as you keep that vibe going, you can just keep going further and further. Mm-hmm. So in another interview, you talk about, Megan, how important it is to be confident in what you do and know that your voice is bringing something new to the table. I love that. Do you have any advice you can offer young new performers looking for a way to stand out the way Cannxn does?
Oh, I would say just trying to see, like, take influence from lots of different people that you admire, but also like finding your way to make your own twist on it. I think a lot of what I do is really like customizing it, even if it's just like little stuff, like the way you dress, or like even when it comes to promotional stuff for the music. I think it's really important to see what you can do that makes you different from other people, even if it's just like making things sparkly. Like, it's fun. It makes it different.
It does make you stand out.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also say try to be the most authentic version of yourself, but play it up.
Yeah.
Like, be yourself, but be the most ridiculous version of yourself that you can be, and really just be confident in yourself in what you have to offer. Mm-hmm. That's really the main thing, and the thing that Megan has even showed me is just do things your own way. Even if it's inspired by other people, just try to do it your own way.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Great answer.
Takes.
So now it's time for Ins and Out Takes, which is a rapid fire of random questions. Are you game for that?
Yeah.
All right, it's gonna be interesting because I'm interviewing two people, so I'll try to keep it neat.
Okay.
All right. You say you both grew up listening to a lot of pop punk artists that tend to find their way into your writing. Who are some of these inspirations? Megan, you go first.
I really love Fall Out Boy and All Time Low.
Yeah.
Those were probably two of the main ones. I love this band called The Rex too. The Main. Those are probably my top 4.
Paul?
For me, different influences. A lot of The Strokes, a lot of Arctic Monkeys, a lot of Nirvana, just the classic, like high school guy band.
Nice.
Bands. Nothing crazy there, but she's definitely the brains of the band.
If you weren't a musician, what is another career you would have liked to explore? Paul, you go first.
I mean, I have my backup plan. I'm studying geology. Trying to keep it in STEM. I've really enjoyed science my whole life. So I'm just trying to do that as my backup.
Megan?
Don't tell that to my parents.
How about you, Megan?
I actually went to beauty school. I have my cosmetology license. So, I would just actually pursue that.
Can I hire you?
I don't know if you want to.
She does all my haircuts.
Well, there you go. See, you're already marketing yourself. Do you have a secret hidden talent not pertaining to music? Megan, you go first.
I think if anything, it would be like arts and crafts. I do love bedazzling.
Bedazzling.
Yeah.
What about you, Paul?
I guess it'd be science is kind of I don't know. I feel like I don't strike people immediately as science, but like I just watch paleontology videos and like just I really like paleobiology a lot. So I don't know. I just
the Ross Geller fans losing their minds right now.
I just really like animals. I don't know if that's a talent, but it's a passion, I guess.
It's good. It's good to involve your career with your passion. So you're already doing it now. Mm-hmm. Paul, what lifts your spirits when life gets you down?
Really, music. I know it's a corny answer for being a musician, but when I'm down in the dumps, it's always nice to put on something angry, just get me angry at life, fired back up, hit it back where it hurts.
Megan?
Clothes. I like to go. I like to go shopping. Retail.
So, let's see. When do you feel most motivated and inspired?
I think for me, I would say there's 2 options. I really like live music. So if I like see a really good show or like really good band, I'm like, I want to do that. And I would just feel re-inspired and go home and do that. Or if I'm really sad, I think that's another, like, I need to get the energy out somehow. So that's another good motivator.
Paul?
And then for me, I'm the most motivated when I have drinking like a coffee or an energy drink. I've eaten nothing else that day, and I've just been sat at my computer just tinkering away for hours. That's when the best stuff comes out, is when you're just caffeine only.
That's good.
So in another interview, Megan talks about how much Taylor Swift's Red Tour inspired her perspective in music. This question's for both of you. What would you name your tour if you had to come up with one right now, quickly? You're leaving tomorrow.
Oh, God.
The worst tour of all time.
Yes. The worst tour.
You want people to attend these concerts.
Yeah, I think for me personally,
That's funny.
I think it's so funny. If I saw something named like that, I would be like, yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah, we've really been kind of like exploring that with some of our like merch ideas. We just think it's really funny to just say that we're the worst of all the time. Like we have a shirt.
Like, I have to see this.
We have a shirt idea. We're gonna try to get printed. We're gonna try to sell it at our shows. It says, "I saw Cannxn live. It was the worst show I've ever seen. I love."
Oh my gosh. Do it. I'll buy one for sure.
Thank you.
For sure. What's better, being a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond?
Small fish, big pond.
Small fish, big pond. You definitely want room to grow, always. If you get too complacent with where you're at, you're not going to grow.
Yep.
It's really is what it
Absolutely.
boils down to.
Paul, if you could tell your younger self something, what would it be?
Do music earlier. I started way too late for how much.
You're still so young, so you have so much time, man.
I know.
People get signed in their 30s and 40s now. You know, just do it. Just do it. Megan,
Yeah.
what about you, Megan? What would you tell yourself?
Be more confident. I think if I was just like crazier when I was younger, even just like when it came to fashion or music stuff, I was very quiet for a long time. I was like the quiet acoustic girl. If I would have gotten started making this stuff earlier, it would have been better.
Always. We'll always say that. But, just the best thing is that you've all started and now you have this awesome band.
Yeah, at the same time, I wouldn't change a thing about how we got to where we are. Everything just feels so perfect with how it ends up. It just feels like everything is where it should be. Like everything happened how it should have.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Last question. We'll start with Megan. Who would play you in the movie of your life?
I can't think of her. Oh, Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good
I
one.
think she's really funny. And I
What
feel
about you?
like people have said we've looked alike once or twice. So, that works.
I can see that. What about you, Paul?
My brother always makes fun of me and tells me I look like Timothy Chalamet. And he's playing a character named Paul in the Dune movie. So I feel like it would be him.
I can see that. Do you want to make a guess for your other bandmates?
Oh.
Throw them in the show.
Keegan would be.
What is Keegan, first of all?
Keegan is one of our guitar players.
Okay.
He's a really nice guy.
He's just a very nice,
A nice,
well put
handsome,
together.
well put together
Yeah.
boy. Honestly, they don't look alike, but Childish Gambino maybe.
Yeah, Donald.
Donald.
Hey, love
They
Donald
don't look
Glover.
the same, but that's not the point.
Same energy.
Uh-huh.
Then we have
Zoe.
Zoe, who is Keegan's sister, and our other guitar player.
I don't know. We don't watch that many movies and TV shows. We're really
That's good. That's why your music's good. It
Yeah.
shows. The
We
fact
just-
that you're struggling for actors and stuff, that's good stuff.
We
Keep
really
practicing.
just obsessed over music, both of us. It's really just what we do in our free time. But definitely somebody quiet, more reserved.
Wait. Who's that one actress? She was in the Witch horror movie. The Anya.
Taylor-Joy.
Yeah. Anya Taylor-Joy. We'll say
Sure.
that.
There you go.
She's
All
cool.
right. We got the whole band covered. Thank
No, we
you.
still have Matthew.
Oh, Matthew.
Matthew's our drummer.
Everybody
Always
forgets
the drummer. So sorry, drummers.
Um,
I don't know. I haven't known him long enough because he's a pretty recent addition to the band. It's been 2 or 3 weeks.
yeah.
So I don't know. We're still kind of really getting to know him on a
All
more
right.
intimate
Well,
level.
we'll ask later on then.
Yeah.
Matthew's going to have to think about it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anything else? You got a new song you guys released on July 14th, Falling, right?
Mhm.
Falling. Make sure you guys check that out. Where can they find that?
They can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, pretty much every streaming service for the most part. Just on our Spotify page, it's Cannxn
With an X.
with an X.
It's always hard telling that to people in real life.
Awesome. And then you have some your debut EP. Will I Always Feel This Way? That was such a great EP. I have to tell you that I listened to that. Well, these past few weeks, I've just been listening to it. Very, very good. Oh my goodness.
you.
Thank you.
I got lost in it, and I wouldn't take it off repeat, so it just kept kind of playing over and over. And then yesterday too, I was writing your interview, and I was like, man, this is just really good. So great
you.
job,
Really
great
appreciate
job.
that.
Thank
Well,
you.
before you go, who do you think we should have on the podcast next?
You want some local bands?
Anybody you want.
Foxy Apollo. They deserve more recognition.
They're from Bellingham.
yeah, they're
Oh, nice.
they're an incredible band. They really don't get enough recognition. They're like very 70s funkadelic inspired. The lead singer, Sam Ashkenazi, he has an incredible voice, an incredible vision. They're all really great guys too. Definitely check them out. They
Wow.
need way more recognition.
What
than-
a shout out.
Very cool.
Now you can cut out that clip and then tag them on it and say you spoke about them with Mackie.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I had a blast.
Yeah. Thank you for having
it was
us.
a great
we
time.
enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Once again, I am Jamie Hernandez, and this is the Ins and Outs with Mackie, a show about awesome gear and awesome people. We'll be bringing you musicians, engineers, podcasters, streamers, and sometimes the occasional Mackoid. If you're new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform to get all the latest Mackie updates as soon as they're out. Until next time, Mackoids.
It's the